In the jungle, when the lion suddenly starts speaking the language of the mouse, everyone freezes. Something has shifted. The rules have changed. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly the kind of moment Nigeria woke up to today. Because what we heard from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission this morning was not business as usual. Not even close. This is the same EFCC that only months ago declared former Kogi State Governor, Yahaya Bello, wanted. The same EFCC whose operatives surrounded his residence. The same EFCC that, in the eyes of many Nigerians, had already written the verdict long before any judge picked up a pen. And now, out of nowhere, that same agency is stepping forward to remind the entire country of a simple but powerful principle: Yahaya Bello is innocent until proven guilty. Yes, you heard that right. If you blinked when you saw the headline, no, your eyes were not playing tricks on you. This was real. This was said publicly. And it was said on national television. This sudden change in tone has sent shockwaves through political circles, legal circles, and WhatsApp groups across the country. People are asking questions. Big questions. Why now? What changed? Is this about the law, or is there something deeper going on behind the scenes? Let's take you inside this unfolding drama, because what is happening right now is not just a court case. It is a high-stakes chess match involving power, perception, politics, and the rule of law. Early this morning, January 5, 2026, the Director of Public Affairs of the EFCC, Wilson Uwujaren, appeared on Arise Television's morning show. Calm. Measured. Confident. And then he dropped the line that has everyone talking. He stated, clearly and without hesitation, that Yahaya Bello remains innocent until a court of law says otherwise. Now, to someone who is not paying attention, that might sound like ordinary legal language. Something you hear in law school or read in the Constitution. But context is everything. And in the context of the intense media war of 2025, where the EFCC was repeatedly accused of trying Bello in the court of public opinion, this statement landed like a thunderbolt. Uwujaren went further. He explained that criminal prosecution in Nigeria is not a quick race. It is not a sprint. It is a long, exhausting marathon. According to him, building a solid case takes time. Proving allegations in court takes patience. And justice, whether people like it or not, does not move at the speed of social media outrage. This was not just an explanation. It was a response. A response to Nigerians who have grown frustrated by the endless adjournments, the delays, the shifting court dates. Remember, as recently as December 2025, the case was adjourned yet again. By coming out to speak this way, the EFCC appears to be resetting expectations. Almost as if they are saying, calm down. Let the process work. We are doing our part, but we do not give verdicts. Judges do. And then came another interesting twist. Uwujaren made a deliberate effort to draw a thick line between law and politics. Everyone knows the rumors. Everyone has heard the whispers about Yahaya Bello's influence within the APC. His alleged plans. His reported senatorial ambitions ahead of 2027. These stories have been flying around Abuja like harmattan dust. But the EFCC spokesman was clear: whatever is happening to Bello within his party is party business. It has nothing to do with the EFCC. That single statement is more strategic than it sounds. For months, critics have accused the commission of being used as a political weapon. A tool to weaken Bello ahead of future elections. A way to clip his wings before he can take off again. By publicly distancing itself from APC politics, the EFCC is trying to wash its hands clean of that narrative. They are saying, this is not about politics. This is about the law. But let's not pretend everything has suddenly gone quiet. On the ground, the case is very much alive. The trial has not stopped. The pressure has not disappeared. The EFCC insists they are presenting witnesses and evidence steadily, step by step. We have heard testimonies from bank compliance officers. We have heard about cash withdrawals, transfers, transactions running into millions of naira, including funds allegedly linked to schools and other entities. From the Commission's perspective, the evidence is growing. Yet, and this is the key point, Uwujaren emphasized that none of this makes the EFCC the judge. Their job, he said, is to prosecute, not to condemn. The final decision belongs to the court. Full stop. And that changes the narrative. Because at the same time this softer, more neutral tone is emerging, the legal heat is still on. Just recently, the Court of Appeal reinstated an interim forfeiture order on properties linked to the former governor. That is not a small development. It shows that while the EFCC is preaching constitutional restraint, the legal battles themselves are becoming more intense. Which makes the timing even more fascinating. Why choose this moment, when the pressure is rising, to sound like an unbiased referee instead of an aggressive prosecutor? Is this a sign of institutional maturity? A deliberate effort to rebuild public trust after months of criticism? Or is this a calculated move to prepare the public for whatever outcome eventually emerges from the courtroom? That is the question Nigerians are debating right now. As we move closer to the next adjourned date of January 29, 2026, all eyes are locked on the Federal High Court. The EFCC has drawn a clear line. They will pursue the case. They will present their evidence. But they will also publicly acknowledge the presumption of innocence guaranteed by the Constitution. Whether this new posture will calm political tensions in Kogi State or reshape public opinion nationwide remains to be seen. One thing, however, is certain: the story has entered a new phase. So now, I want to hear from you. Do you see this shift as a sign that the EFCC is becoming more professional and more careful? Or do you believe this is simply a tactical move, a softening of the ground ahead of a bigger play? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you want to stay ahead of every twist, every statement, and every courtroom move in this 80 billion naira saga, you already know what to do. Like this video so more Nigerians can see it. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on that notification bell. Because in Nigeria, long before the judge delivers a verdict, the court of public opinion is always in session.